Well, first and six, Democrats have voted to make South Carolina the lead-off state of the presidential nominating calendar.
President Joe Biden championed the push to make the Palmetto State first in the nation, and our chief political correspondent Emma Withrow joins us now to explain why. Emma?
Exciting news for all of us. Well, President Biden made it clear he didn't think Iowa or New Hampshire really reflected the Democratic Party's diverse electorate, and South Carolina does. So after 5 decades of Iowa having this coveted spot, South Carolina is moving in and will get all the perks of being that first stop for Democratic candidates on the nomination calendar. Okay, so what are those perks? Well, it's a no-brainer. This will be an economic boost for South Carolina. But being first in the nation also gives the state a lot more power in the process of nominating the Democratic Party's candidate. Now, even though the majority of the DNC is supportive of this decision to make South Carolina first in the nation, Democratic leaders in New Hampshire, Iowa, and Nevada have pushed back. Actually, last night, New Hampshire's Democratic Party even tweeted, quote, "The DNC didn't give New Hampshire the first in the nation primary, and it's not theirs to take away." New Hampshire actually has an over 100-year-old law in place that enshrines their state as the first primary stop. So I asked Trav Robertson, the chair of the South Carolina Democratic Party, how he feels about New Hampshire's stance.
Fact is that the RBC, the DNC, will have to make their determination as to what penalties there are if people operate outside the window set forth by the RBC and the DNC. You know, there could be a circumstance or a situation in which the New Hampshire goes ahead, they have their primary, and then the DNC doesn't seat their delegates at the national convention.
Now, keep in mind the move to make South Carolina the first stop in the presidential primary still needs to get fully approved by the DNC. That vote will probably happen early next year, but the AP reports that it'll most likely be aligned with the committee's decision that we found out about today.
Yeah, Emma, usually the Republicans and Democrats are kind of aligned with the states and how they do their primary together. What about the Republican? Are they going to change their calendar?
Yeah, that's why this is so interesting. It's such a shakeup. I reached out to the South Carolina GOP and I said, hey, does this affect you guys in any way? They said, nope, we're sticking with tradition. South Carolina is still going to be their first in the South, but they're sticking with tradition when it comes to first in the nation. They're going to give it to Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, so on and so forth. So that's what they're sticking with. That's what we got, guys.
Big changes happening.
Yeah, it's exciting.
All right, thanks, Emma, for that. Let's talk about the unaffiliated voter as well.